Today I'll show you how to paint a lava vase as seen in one of my recent OSL videos. No skill whatsoever will be required to recreate this effect. For colors, I'll be using black, yellow, orange and red. The first step will be to build up a layer from where to paint the cracked earth and small lava rivers. For it, I'll mix some red and orange to an intermediate tone. And using a sponge, I'll base coat the whole base through stippling. This will result in an uneven texture in the end. Furthermore, as I'm finished going around the base once, I'll add some yellow into the mix, and I will not wait for the previous layers to dry, as I want to wet blend the stippling as I go into lighter and lighter colors. By the end, I'll be stippling with almost pure yellow. With each layer, I'll make sure to remove excess paint from the sponge on the wet palette so I can achieve those tiny dots, which will provide a very detailed result in a short amount of time and with no effort. Once done, I'll have an interesting starting point to work from. To sketch the cracked earth, I'll go back to the red and orange mix, and using an old brush, I'll use a tapping motion to create random patterns. These can be as little or as big as you like. In contrast to what I'll be doing, mark out where the feet of your model will be placed, so to make sure you don't have them standing in lava. Once finished, I'll repeat the same process using red, this time however focusing on the inner parts of the islands. The transition from yellow hot to red will add credibility to the rocks that are almost to the point of melting. However, there is still a noticeable difference between the richly textured base tone and these brush tone parts. So to better blend them, I'll go back to my sponge and stipple an orange and yellow mix all over the base. I'm gonna make sure to remove most of the paint from the sponge, as what I'm looking for are tiny dots to break the even look, being careful not to go over the same area more than once. In the end, these tiny dots will tie up the flowing lava with the one that's not quite melted. For the rocky areas which are still solid, I'll begin with a mix of black and red, which will represent the edge which is solid but hot. In contrast to the orange and red layers, I'm taking a more deliberate stippling approach here, where the layer will consist of dots one next to the other, leaving a bit of red showing here and there. Up close, you can see the result of these dots one next to the other, giving the effect of a jagged edge. I'll use pure black to finish the rocks. In order to be more precise about my stippling, as with each layer I have moved further and further in, I'll orient my brush in such a manner where I have full view of the edge I'm working on. So in other words, being right-handed, I will rotate the base so the edge I'm working on is always to the left. The yellow and orange mix sponging I last did tuned down the brightness of the lava a little, so to build it back up, I'll go around the middle of the rivers with pure yellow. The paint is slightly diluted, both to help it flow from my brush as well as to give it a bit of transparency so it blends better with the colors and textures underneath, and doesn't stand out too much. Thank you for watching. I hope you found the video helpful and give it a try. Feel free to leave any questions you may have in the comments. As always, special thanks to the patrons who provide their extra support each month.